Welcome, everybody, to the China Show, the real China Show, episode 311. Crazy things going on in China. We're going to bring you up to speed.
Wow. Practicing for something disgusting is a very apt title, I'll tell you what. We'd give you an area code or a country code shout out today, 311, but it's a non-emergency service line. So shout out to the non-emergency service workers out there. Let us know if you work in this industry.
I didn't even know that existed, 311.
Yeah, it's like potholes and stuff like that.
So you call it up and you're like,
I got a pothole.
What is your non-emergency emergency? Like,
Yes.
I've got a pothole.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, gotcha.
China actually does have emergencies, so let's get into that.
Yeah, let's saunter right into it with what's new, where we talk about everything that's new specifically with regards to China. Now, we showed something on Monday. Okay, guys, quick, got to give you some background. We showed something on Monday to our VIP show that was just too good. We had to share it with everyone. In China, when you go to the tolls, and this is something you have to understand, every time you enter a freeway or a highway in China, you must pay. There are no free toll roads, no free highways. So you get on, there's a ticket booth where you take a ticket and you get to your destination. When you get off the highway, you have to pay. And the
I'm just trying to simulate.
Yeah, the toll booth employees have to smile. If they don't smile, they get a fine and they get money deducted off their pay.
It's a big smile, too.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah, so we just wanted to show you what that's like. So here, we'll just give you a
Very North Korea.
little spattering of that.
Oh, these are not happy people, by the way.
No. But that's what you got to do all day, smile.
Smile.
Yeah, smile.
You know he turns around afterwards and he's just like, oh.
Yeah, poor guy. These poor
Oh,
guys.
man.
Yeah.
That one looks like it hurts.
Yes. So when you smile when you're not even looking at the person.
Because they have cameras that watch them.
Yeah.
Right, as we discussed in the Patreon show. The cameras will tell the government if they're not smiling.
That's right, yeah. This poor guy.
Oh, man, he's struggling,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Yeah, I can see he's blinking. Poor guy.
I mean, it hurt just the little time I did it.
Yes, yeah.
You're doing that 12 hours a day. Remember, it's 12-hour work days, right? In China, 996.
Yeah, it's true. That guy, so yeah.
He forgot.
Yeah.
He's like, oh crap, I gotta put it back on. He was just taking a quick little break.
Yeah, poor guy.
Poor guy. Welcome to dystopia.
Exactly.
I should say utopia.
Yeah, there we go. China's living in the future. Right
They're
there.
not high, Chad.
No.
Must be nice to live in a real country.
They're low. They're very sad.
Poor guys, yeah. It must be quite thankless.
And the salary, I mean, you're talking hundreds of dollars per month to do this all day, every day.
Mm-hmm. And suck in the smog.
And suck in the swamp.
Yeah, it's bad. It's rough. Poor guys. Anyway, we thought we'd just put a bit of a spotlight because, people in China are filming this now because they're finding it quite entertaining.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a very heavy-handed communism, right?
Yeah.
It's like one of those symptoms of that.
Yeah. Up in Urumqi, there's been this pretty epic sandstorm that people have been posting online. And what's kind of, just look at that coming in. It looks apocalyptic, doesn't it? What's kind of funny is people are posting memes like this now of like Godzilla and so on.
Yeah. When I lived up north in Inner Mongolia, these are pretty common. And I'll tell you what, you better pray you're home when they come in because they come in fast.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, when you look out your window and you see this like rolling in, you're like, thank goodness I'm outside. But when you're outside, if you've never been in a proper sandstorm, it stings your eyes. You can't see anything.
Yeah, you get like crust around your eyes.
Yeah, and sand in your mouth.
Your
you're
nose.
crunching, and it's like you're breathing it in. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We've
all been here.
Seen this clip has been going around on the Chinese internet. Guy, his bike fell over in the puddle and he just took a moment to reflect on his life. It's quite a powerful image.
I do want people to just look at that because I feel like there is some point in your life that you could relate to this guy.
Absolutely.
Where something went so utterly wrong that the reaction is not to pick up the pieces and move on. It's just to dwell in it.
Yeah,
it's just to sit in the mud puddle without your shoes on and just say, where have I gone wrong?
Yep,
right?
Pretty much.
That's how I feel sometimes.
Yeah, so it's obviously struck a chord.
I often felt like that when, in similar situations in China when I crashed my motorcycle.
Yes,
He just
yes.
like, what have I done?
Now, here's a quick, interesting phenomenon. The Chinese government, for some reason, has been promoting as propaganda these masters who are more accurate than like scientific instruments.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's actually on state TV.
Yeah.
And it's like they praise these guys. Oh, he doesn't need to use a vernier, a caliper or something. Look at what he can do. He can just use his hands.
He can
and
measure it
within
like
microns.
Microns.
Yes.
They can measure within microns, they're saying.
Yes.
You know what a micron is?
Yeah, I do. And it's absolute nonsense. He cannot do that. For anyone who thinks he can, he can't.
What's interesting about this is that I'm trying to get, like, let's talk about this for a minute.
Sure.
Why do this? Because at first I thought, oh, it's one guy, right?
Yeah.
No,
it's
many guys. And they're going around, state media's putting this out on their aggregates, right? Their amplifiers. And they're getting guys to say that they have the golden finger. They can get down to 0.0001.
Yeah, they can just feel, they can feel it, precision. Now, anyone who's ever worked with precision instruments, you know that you cannot, especially if you're some kind of weapons system or something that's in a jet engine or something that really needs to be precise. You cannot be off by even like a 0.03 or something.
There are entire industries and companies with thousands of employees that go out and measure military equipment.
Yeah, and you have to have your,
companies.
you have to calibrate your tools. A friend of mine, his company is about calibrating tools that are used. Here's the thing. In Chinese belief system, you've got this sort of almost like a mystical side of things when it comes to kung fu, traditional Chinese medicine. They believe, in all the qi and everything. So this kind of thing,
it's a weirdly unscientific country.
Oh yeah. So this kind of thing is believable to, especially the older people.
Yes.
They will believe this, and I guess it's just a kind of a nationalist pride thing that they're trying to do.
Yeah,
here.
but I found it very interesting that they had multiple people doing this, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost like a verbatim script that they're going on. And what I found interesting is that the people in the comment sections and things like this are like, wow, China's...
wow, he's
really,
like so powerful, it's like,
My hope, as we head into this long-term conflict with China probably, my hope is that they are doing this with their military equipment.
They're like, dude, Mr. Hands, whatever they call him.
Mr. Hands, get over here.
Golden Hand, come here. We need to make sure that these precision things are
Golden Hand.
Yeah, exactly. We need to launch a satellite into space. Call Golden Hands. And he's like, okay, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're using Golden Hands to help Iran with its weapons, right?
Yeah, exactly. Call him Hamju Salt or whatever,
Salt Big Hand.
Salt Big Hand, come here, and he'll do this thing, and they're like, yes, it'll fail. Yeah. Anyway, talking about near misses, okay? Take a look at this. These guys are just outside playing cards, as you do in China. It's very common to sit around, play cards. They hear a noise, and I want you to pay attention to the auntie. The auntie that's standing there. She hears the noise, and she's like, what is this?
Wow.
I mean,
wow.
That is insane.
That's an air conditioner.
Yeah, you can actually hear all the charge escaping, the
How
freon.
much does a window unit air conditioner?
It's not even a window unit, it's a mini split outside.
Mini split outside way.
Yeah, let's find out.
Just curious.
I mean, look, that's fatal.
Between 50 and 150 pounds.
Yeah.
You're coming down at like how many floors up?
Yeah, who knows? It's impossible to tell.
You're vaporized.
Yeah. As you can see, that happened just the other day on the 14th.
Let's see it again. Let's see it fall again.
You want me to rewind it?
I do want to see that fall again.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just you count your lucky stars.
Yeah, hang on. It's golden hands. Golden hands again.
Golden hands.
Yeah, here he is. Okay.
How dystopian are these, like, people tracking?
Yeah, it's like tracking the people on the camera.
That's crazy. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Is that, and I won't project this on these specific people, but a lot of people of this generation believe in something called yuan fen, which is like fate.
Yeah.
So nothing will be learned from this experience. It's like, oh, it just wasn't my time.
Yeah.
It's
crazy. When I first went to China, my Taiwanese friends in particular would warn me, like, hey, listen, if there's even a slight like breeze, a storm, don't stand underneath buildings.
In China.
Yeah, in China, because things fall down, like signs and stuff. I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yep.
Guess what they do?
Yep, my coworker, within weeks of me first landing in China, she got whacked by a tile that flew off a building just from a breeze.
Yeah.
knocked out.
Yeah.
Stitches, blood everywhere.
Yeah,
Stuff flies around in China.
yeah. That was a lucky
I
miss.
saw a toilet come out of a window once.
Now, remember, we've been showing this. This is a theme of, the sort of middle-aged IEs.
Stop with the middle age.
The little to late-aged, middle to...
They're old.
What do on steak you have like medium well?
Yeah.
So what would you call this?
They're seniors.
Middle to late?
They're just seniors.
Okay.
They're elderly.
Middle to elderly.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like 80, dude.
But they're always going the wrong way on the escalators.
Yes, yeah.
And again, I mean, you can't make it up. We got another clip. Why?
Why? Why does this happen so much?
I know. He's like, that's obviously his wife. He's like trying to, she's fallen down.
I love his abandonment.
Yeah, he just abandons
It's my
her.
favorite thing.
He's like,
well, she's not going to make it, so I am.
but I'll make it.
He just left.
Dude. Oh, man, it's
What
ridiculous.
chivalry is dead.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it... Okay. By the way, we've shown plenty of times how bad the safety equipment is.
Yes.
Remember, we've shown how fire hydrants, they just don't work when they need to work, or the fire hoses inside buildings. You get a fire, you run out into the hallway, there's the fire hose, you try to turn it on, it doesn't work.
Because we've also shown how prevalent fires are.
Yeah. Now, take a look at this. It says fire hydrant. So this is the cabinet where there are fire hydrants inside.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is where you can get fire. There should be a fire extinguisher in there. There should be a fire hose.
Yep.
It is sealed.
Yes.
As you can say. And it's like...
Just to make sure, right? No one tampered with it.
It's like only break the seal during emergencies.
Yes.
Okay? It's inspected. It's got the inspection sign. Someone signed. They've inspected it. It's all okay. Because what's supposed to happen is they break the seal, they inspect everything is there, they reseal it, and they sign it. That's the process.
So let's audit this.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of check marks that it's been inspected.
It's been inspected. It's been signed off by the inspector.
We have the signatures.
Yes.
And it is up to date. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all up to date. See, it's sealed.
Yeah.
然后封条一直是完好的，检查贴也在。然后我现在打开一下，看一下。
Gonna open it, have a look.
Yeah.
看一下啊，消防栓里面什么都没
Dude,
有。
what's that scary freaking image?
It's nothing. You mean the thing in the corner?
No.
What?
I'm not hallucinating.
What?
Guys,
What?
are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Oh yeah, I see it too. There's a man's face.
Dude, go back to that.
You know what?
It's not a reflection. It's
No,
stuck.
look, it is. It's on this too. Can you see it?
Yeah, watch.
Yeah, I
It
see
opens it. It's not reflective in there.
Yeah, it's like a watermark.
看一下啊，
Dude, what the? That's terrifying. What the heck is that?
I don't know
you
why.
Think that looks creepy?
Yeah, it does. I don't know why you put a watermark like that in there.
What the actual creepypasta is that?
Yeah.
We did not notice this before.
No, we didn't. Yeah, you're right.
You're seeing this live. We are catching a ghost live. This is going to go viral.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Either way, it's some dude's
By the way,
watermark.
what is that thing? That's where it's supposed to
Yeah,
hook
that's
up.
where you're supposed to like hook the hose to or whatever. But there's nothing in there, so it's inspected and it's checked off and everything. But guess what?
Scary, dude. That's really, really, really scary.
Yeah, I was wondering what you're on about, but once you see it.
Once you see it.
Anyway,
That should have been the thumbnail.
what the?
This.
No, it's like one of those 3D pictures. Nobody
like
sees
a
it.
magic eye.
Yeah, magic eye picture. It's
You
like
can't do those.
No, I can't. I've never been able to see those.
That's a hand machine ghost in there.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so
This has been going around, and there's a trend.
Yes.
I noticed a trend on Douyin, which is Chinese TikTok, and it's middle-aged to elderly women.
Yes.
I'm going to say 50 to 70 years old, and they're singing patriotic songs.
Tells
but
you it's the middle-aged.
It started with these songs being like, look at how patriotic I am. They dress up in the old outfits. Then it became this thing where like, how can I be more outlandishly nationalistic than every other old lady?
Yes.
Right? So they're coming to a peak here.
She wants to match the color of the flag.
She's trying to get that hue. Like
Yeah,
if we
the
were to use a
Zhongguo Hong.
Swatch app.
Yes.
She's getting awfully close, right?
She
So
is.
this clip is going around.
Yeah, so you can see she's really like forcing
She's crying.
forcing the patriotism out, standing in a random field.
See the tears?
Yes.
So she's going nuts. But what's interesting is that we saw this and we're cracking up
Yeah.
because she's winning currently, I think.
Yeah,
in
as
the
far as that.
nationalism song battle.
Yeah.
But there was no song attached to it.
Yeah.
Right. So we actually ended up finding, and you'll see this in this thing. We found the clip with the audio restored.
Yeah, so we found the actual audio behind it because,
Because, I mean, looking at her, we don't know what she sounds like, though. That zoom was into... She is red. I did not edit this.
No, that's how she is, standing in that dirt path in the middle of nowhere.
Red.
Yeah, yes. So we found the... Are you guys ready to hear it?
Are you ready, guys? Chat, let us know.
Yeah.
Comments, let us know. Are you ready? Are you freaking ready?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I think they're ready. Okay. Restored audio. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I did not need to sit
Yeah.
through the whole thing. But,
Yeah, that's a bit much, but it's
Wow.
accurate. It's accurate. Yeah.
I mean, go IE.
Yeah.
She's killing it. She's not as scary as that Skeletor
Oh, yeah,
one.
the skeleton.
Remember
Yeah, that
one?
was terrible. Yeah.
That was...
I'm still curious what she's trying
So
to
it's taking
achieve.
the bus.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
We got a personal story from you.
Yeah, we got a little personal story. Let's quickly hit this before we get into the heavy stuff. You guys ready? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So I was taking the bus the other day and I hooked up my computer to the Wi-Fi. But the problem is there was somebody else on the bus who was obviously doing some kind of spoofing and I connected to their Wi-Fi. They stole my identity and you know what? I started to get calls from the police. Apparently this guy's been holding these wild Tupperware parties in his apartment. And you know what? It's getting out of hand. It's in my name. People think it's me. I don't know what to do. Wish I'd used Surfshark VPN.
Surfshark is the VPN that we use. It makes a secure tunnel around your connection so that no one can see you or take advantage of you. Surfshark is insanely fast too, and it connects to the fastest server by default.
You literally tap once and you're protected. But it goes way beyond the basics. One subscription lets you install and run Surfshark on unlimited devices at the same time. Your phone, your laptop, smart TV, tablet, even your PlayStation or Xbox. No device limits.
If you travel like we do, this is an absolute game changer. You can connect to servers in over 100 countries. And Surfshark is one of the only... What is that?
100?
You a crab?
No. See? 10 times 10 is 100.
Which means you can avoid location-based price hikes on flights, safely use public Wi-Fi, and even connect to your home country to avoid your bank freezing your account when you're abroad.
Security-wise, they don't mess around. Surfshark has a strict no-logs policy, RAM-only servers, IP and DNS leak protection, and industry-leading encryption. Plus, features like Clean Web that blocks malicious websites, and an email scam checker that lets you verify if suspicious emails are phishing attempts. If you've got kids, the web blocker doubles as parental controls too.
Everyone is streaming stuff these days, but every country has different licensing for what shows you can see. You can unlock up to 15 of the largest...
With Surfshark, you can unlock up to 15 of the largest Netflix libraries, plus BBC iPlayer and other streaming services just by switching servers.
Want to try it out risk-free? They offer a 30-day money-back guarantee and 24/7 live customer support.
Go to surfshark.com/ADVpodcast and use the code ADVpodcast at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. That's 4. It's in the description.
Protect your data, unlock the internet, and browse without limits with Surfshark.
Thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring the China show. And now back to the show, yo.
些这个安全保障的问题。
Freaking
Yeah.
crab swirl over here.
Yeah, it was
Freaking
fun.
had golden hands over here.
Yeah, I know. It's all about the numbers,
I
man.
saw we did that. I was losing my mind. Who does this 100 times?
You do it 10 times. 'Cause
That's
it's
a
10.
lot.
10 times 10?
By the time I'm on the next line,
You're done.
it's irrelevant.
I could have done it like this.
You could have.
Because yeah, that means 10 in Chinese when you
Yes.
you know, like counting with your
Yes.
hands. This can also mean 10. Anyway, back to the show, guys. And thank you again to Surfshark, guys. You should get it if you don't have it. It's very useful.
Yeah.
Again, we're back with the robots.
Oh
China's obsessed with these remote controlled toys.
It's a remote control toy.
Yeah. And every single one of the robot races and things, they've got follow cars, they got guys walking behind them with a remote control.
They actually had some that were automated, but I mean, they're automated to walk in a straight
They're
line.
still followed by dudes with a control.
It's backup.
Yeah.
And they actually got a time penalty if they weren't automated, but you know, the majority of people are using controllers.
Yeah.
But what I'm most frustrated about is like, you guys are smart. right? Our audience watches as you guys know the shenanigans that's going down. China's pretending like they've done something that's very impressive when it's not. And you guys are smart enough to figure that out. But apparently the media's not, because they keep glazing over and over again. China's like robotic prowess circa like 1999 remote control cars.
Yes, exactly.
So we wanted to show you media versus reality.
Yeah, okay.
Robots powering on and hitting the pavement, training for Beijing's second ever humanoid half marathon this weekend. You see some here zooming through the track with ease.
Now let's see the real thing.
Yeah, let's.
So another half marathon.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the stretcher.
They must have removed that one speaker. I didn't hear it.
Well, I think it hit the ground and exploded before it could swear. I shouldn't say swear, before it could speak.
Yeah.
They're not always swearing.
That's better.
There we go. This is more realistic. This is what I thought.
Yes.
Where is this on the Beijing Cup?
Yes.
This is all I saw.
Yeah.
Those ones are so
Yes.
Fuck you. 我愛你，我愛你，我愛你咧。你唔好再咁壞啊！會強姦你㗎。
Why do they gotta spaz like that? It's great.
I don't know.
Where's this footage?
Yeah.
Where's this?
Exactly. You know, during a basketball match, bought out a Toyota robot.
Yes.
So while China's messing around with these like remote control toys, hey, it can run, you know, it can move forward and so on. I think this is far more impressive.
Yeah, where's this on the media, by the way?
Yeah.
Like that actually did a thing.
Yes.
It did a thing.
It did a thing. Yeah, it's actually purpose-built to do something other than just like do silly tricks.
Well, you know what? China's purpose-built a lot of these automated delivery robots, and
Yes.
they have been doing nothing but running over dogs.
Yep, running over
crashing,
people.
Running over people, getting stuck, literally stopping in the middle of the road and then causing traffic jams and car accidents.
Yes,
now.
yes, yeah.
And then they're also just they're losing their routes. Let's have a look what happens.
So this is in an urban village, and this dude's like, it's in the middle of the night, and he can't sleep because these things keep going past his window, and they have these like automated announcements. Listen.
我好像绕密到深夜都在过，因为在这张船，那还有
It's dystopian.
犯人呢，犯人，还这样。
Oh yeah,
That's
so
Bollard Report.
Bollard Report time, guys.
Bollard.
So Euro Truck Simulator has made it to China, and the only thing that people are doing is running over as many people as they can.
Yeah, and there are multiple videos of this.
You know, it's a trend.
Yeah.
Is this not so apt for what's been happening in China?
Absolutely.
Just today, actually, 8 people dead at first, 6 died in the hospital. Another vehicular manslaughter incident.
Yeah.
Day before that, another one. Week prior, another one.
Yeah, we've had within the last 3 weeks 3 mass vehicular homicides in China. Again, revenge against society is what I like to call murder season.
Yeah.
It's in full swing once again in China.
Yes.
I'm making a video about that actually this weekend. I'll be releasing it. But this is something that unfortunately just keeps happening in China. And I mean, what is happening here?
It's even in simulators, even in trends. You put people in a scenario, their mind automatically goes to how many people can I kill?
Yeah, I guess it's like just they want to take their frustrations out.
Well, society without really many guns or anything like this is the way to release the pressure valve
Yeah.
on a society that's really bursting at the seams, unemployment, no psychological help,
Yeah.
right? A heavy-handed government that's providing no social benefits.
Yeah.
People are losing it.
Absolutely.
No religion, right?
So what do?
You
Run
run
over as
people
many
over.
people as possible when you get into a simulator.
It's what you do.
Yeah.
And it'd be less disturbing and more funny if this was just like a funny thing that people were doing, but tied to the vehicular manslaughter epidemic that happened today, yesterday, a week ago,
Yes.
a week before that,
Mm-hmm.
months ago,
Yep.
in the hundreds now.
Yeah.
People just running over crowds of people in
It's-
schools.
It's almost like a weekly thing in China at the moment. And, you know, it doesn't get a lot of news coverage, but it's massive. Like I said, I'm doing a whole video about it this weekend, so you can take a look at that on the Serpent ZA channel. But we've covered it here a lot. It is a massive societal problem in China, the revenge against society, vehicular homicides.
And so that's why they keep putting up these bollards. That's why
Yeah.
we do Bollard Report. It has, serious origins. It's a funny segment.
That's the
but-
whole point, yeah.
These bollards, unfortunately, have become a massive government corruption scheme. And what's funny is that we knew this was going to happen. When the government said, okay, we're going to show the world that when we do have a problem like vehicular manslaughter,
Well,
unlike
first of all,
these-
we don't tell them about it.
Number one, we block all journalism. We remove
Yeah.
all the posts. But in order to have a heavy-handed approach and show that authoritarian governments get stuff done,
Yeah.
whereas like America's full of bureaucracy and they can't get anything done, we're going to get bollards put everywhere across the entire country.
Yeah,
And then the people won't be able to run over people anymore.
sure.
But what's happened is, number one, they're making fake ones, plastic ones by the millions everywhere.
Yeah.
They're putting them all in one place. So
Yep.
they'll line up like 100 bollards next to each other.
Yes.
And it's preventing real world rescue scenarios.
Yeah, so here what's happening is there's a pretty serious fire going on in this little community. And the fire truck cannot turn the corner because these bollards are in the way. So they actually had to cut them with like saws. So you can take a look. There's two angles of the same thing. See how they have to try to get these bollards out of the way just so that they can actually get their fire truck around the corner. So, you know,
by the time that happens, what? Everyone's burned to death. You know?
again, this also shows you that the lack of preparation.
Yeah.
You know, they're obviously not doing drills. They're not, making sure that they can respond to an emergency if they have to.
No, you have firefighters in flip-flops.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Firefighters in flip-flops having to cut down bollards because they can't turn their truck through the corner.
Meanwhile, everyone's freaking baking.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Over here, another... Well, this is kind of strange. In the malls in China, because, right now you got a lot of crossover between mobile phone companies and electric vehicle
Yeah,
manufacturers.
it's all a big racket.
So Xiaomi, which makes like a fridge and so they started out with smartphones. They make electric vehicles now too. Those fake knockoff Porsche ones.
You know why this happens? These companies that already have massive budgets for everything, right?
Yeah.
They hear the government is subsidizing garbage trash EVs by the millions.
Sure.
They're going to jump right in there, right?
Of course they do. Yeah. So also Huawei, all these big phone makers, they all do electric vehicles. So now where you've got your cell phone store in the mall, you also have a car park.
Yes.
So you'll be
In the
like,
mall.
it's kind of like you'll have an Apple store
Yeah.
type because they knock off Apple stores, right?
Yeah, imagine it was an Apple car.
Yeah. So it looks like Apple store and then there'll be a car in that store.
Yeah.
Well, you should probably not leave them on.
Because kids will get in there.
Yeah, because a kid climbed into one of these and just plowed over the way into another shop.
Yes,
Yeah.
look at this.
Speaking of that knockoff Porsche,
Dude.
yeah, how close was that?
Wow.
Yeah, that's a
at
near
this.
miss. Wow. Yeah. It's lucky.
Oh my goodness. She lost a shoe and she didn't even get hit.
So glad that she didn't get hit. Wow. This dude. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's just play it. Then we'll explain.
Okay.
All right.
There's a bollard. Some bollards there.
Yeah, some bollards for the Bollard report.
Come on, pedestrians. Go around.
Okay, I gotta explain.
I love how upset she is.
So yeah, what happens is we've explained this before. Owning a car in China is a burden, a massive
such a
burden,
burden.
because everywhere that you go, you have to pay.
Yeah.
So where you live. Like this guy's leaving his apartment complex. You can see this is where he lives. Those are his apartments. So when you drive in, it scans your license plate. When you drive out, it scans your license plate.
Yeah.
And then the boom opens up and you can leave, but it charges you. So every day you park at your home, you have to pay.
Unless you own the spot.
Yeah, even then, you still have to pay like Guanli Fei and stuff as well on top of that. But either way, you have to pay where you park. And whether it's at your home, whether it's at the shopping mall, whether it's driving on the highway, everywhere you go, you have to pay. Your car is a massive liability in China. It's not easy to own. It's very expensive to own a car. So what's happening here is the guy's leaving his apartment complex. Like I said, the automatic reader reads his license plate. They've had this technology there. They've implemented it for a very long time.
Yeah.
You know, I used to have this at my apartment. And because it reads his license plate, it opens the boom just as this middle-aged woman, this IE, is crawling around the boom.
She just looks so betrayed. The way she points at the boom like she's going to go fight it.
Yeah.
Or she's going to like try to accuse it.
Well, she did. She actually sued the driver and their car. The police are involved.
Like,
Yeah, so the police are actually involved.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, soft power hour. This is the main part of the show, guys. And there's some absolutely insane things happening.
Before we do that,
I
have to encourage everyone that it's the time for the like farmer to come out. I am the like farmer, and I always encourage you guys to like. We're going to try to hit 4,000 likes today.
All right.
The reason we do that is that it's always annoying when people come out and say, can you like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff, but we have to farm those likes, because if we don't, YouTube does not put this in front of the people that need to see it. And I'll tell you what, as being one of the only sources out there that's combating the CCP and combating the Chinese government's propaganda apparatus, we need you guys to hit the thumbs up and get this in front of as many people as possible. So if we can hit that 4,000 likes, I'd really appreciate it. Seed that feed. Seed the feed.
That hat looks dumb. You know, you need a real hat like a fedora. So you can tip it and say milady.
I am not a Reddit mod. I am not a Reddit mod. How dare you?
Yeah, anyway, guys. Thanks. Like farmer.
This hat rules. It's a real Amish hat.
I get it. Let's get back to it. So, guess what?
That's great. It is crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazier.
I just don't know how to explain this, okay? You know, everybody in the whole world, everyone in the world knows about like that California factory that burned down.
Yes.
Everyone in the world knows about the
thing.
Ohio train
How many people
derailment.
died?
0.
There you go.
Okay. Everybody knows.
Yes.
But when you've got stuff that's on a larger scale than that happening, well, daily in China, no one knows about it.
Bro, you guys are about to see the most outlandishly underreported big news, I think, of the year.
Yeah.
I cannot believe this is not in the news. And I'll tell you what, it took us an entire week to put this together because although there were a couple of these explosions on the news, we found so many more that had zero coverage, were deleted, hidden, completely blocked, and we managed to pull them out of wherever they were.
Yeah, exactly. So let's take a look. On April 5th, okay, we had this massive chemical plant explosion.
Not normal.
No, this is in Shandong.
Yes. Look at this.
It's like a nuclear explosion.
Oh, forget Iran. Look at this.
Yeah, I know. We should have done one of those Iran or China things.
Dude.
Yeah.
Where's the news?
Yeah. Where's the news?
This is an economy in shambles. It's exploding.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's just one.
The sheer size of it, too. This is not like a kitchen fire.
No. It's a mushroom cloud.
Shattering windows.
Yeah. Okay. Then we've got another one. April 6th. The human chemical plant in Gansu.
Now, I do have evidence of this.
Yes.
But I struggled to find anything about it other than that it happened. Look at the size of it. Another chemical plant, and this is one day afterwards.
Yeah.
In a completely different part of the country.
Yeah.
How do two major chemical, and I say major, I mean major.
Yeah.
Two major chemical plants explode with like the force of a bomb.
Yeah, and then nobody knows about it.
And nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
Day after day.
Yep. So it doesn't stop there, of course.
No.
Because this is China.
There's a couple more
This
photos.
this is the same one.
Yeah.
You know, the same chemical plant in Gansu.
So we're at 2 chemical plants now
Yeah.
in 2 days.
Here's another one.
This is a materials factory. I believe they make some sort of plastic type materials. Massive explosion, massive cloud, complete disaster.
Also in
The
Shandong.
day after.
Yeah.
3 days in a row now, guys. 3 massive factories
Yeah, it's
gone,
insane.
wiped out.
And,
That's not it.
No, it gets worse. It gets way worse. This is April 8th in Fujian. So this is another
next
completely
day.
yeah, exactly. The next day. Completely
6,
different part of
7,
China.
8. 6, 7,
Yeah.
8.
This is a textile factory.
Yeah, PT Resources is the name of it.
Those people were rescued, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about the others
Yeah.
for fear of using guidelines.
Sure. Yeah, this is the textile factory.
Yes. 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah.
By the way,
Oh, this is another one on the 13th.
Ningbo,
in Ningbo.
Fenghua Technology. This is a massive city for Western exports. So a lot of stuff that you get from China is from here.
Yeah.
This is a magnesium and die cast factory.
Yeah, that's probably going to be good to inhale that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is it good to
Must be nice to
inhale
live in a real
magnesium?
country.
No.
Did the government evacuate people around the factory?
No.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's par for the course, though. Massive thing here. You know, in this, look at how it's gone up there. And again,
It must be nice, though. If you think about it critically, it
yeah.
actually
Must be nice to live in a real country.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, I forgot April 9th.
Oh, yeah. April 9th, we forgot to put in there. Sorry. So you got to rewind a few days.
Yes.
In Shaoxing in Shenzhou. Look at that. It's a
4D
battery
battery
base.
base.
Yeah.
Rumors
In
say
Zhejiang.
they help BYD make their batteries.
Yeah.
In Zhejiang, China, so Eastern China.
I'm pretty sure these guys are tied to BYD, making
Yes. I
batteries.
just didn't want to go make that claim all the way
Yeah.
because I can't confirm. But it's a massive battery base. Exploded.
But by the way, you know when these lithium-ion batteries burn,
Yes.
it's incredibly hazardous for your health.
Mm.
It's incredibly hazardous. The chemicals that they put out, you know, they'll kill you
Yes.
if you breathe it in.
Yes.
You know, so
These are not AI, but there's Wumao and the
not AI. You can look it up.
mods. You can deal with them if you want to.
Yeah.
We fact check everything.
Yeah, no, none of this is AI.
This is you breathe this in.
Yeah,
Bye.
You're done.
Shanghai.
Yeah, exactly.
Not Shanghai.
I mean, it's incredibly hazardous and toxic. So within, like, I think a 5
it.
kilometer radius around here.
Look at it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you do not want to be breathing that in.
No.
Yeah.
Same day. Plus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is a different one. Same day, April 9th. This is in a completely in Anhui. Pharmaceutical factory, yeah. Dude.
What?
I wonder what pharmaceuticals are burning up there, like Ebola or something.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't usually take my Ebola pills.
Yes. Just saying. But here's
They
the big
make
one.
Medicine. Yeah.
And this one did make some international news.
Yeah.
Is
but
the BYD.
How many didn't?
Yeah,
How many
you
didn't?
saw how many there were, like massive. Now the BYD factory. Now this is quite insidious. All right, this is a multi-story parking structure. All right, this is where apparently they put their test cars and they say they're scrapped cars, but it's an automated parking structure. For those of you who don't know how those work, it's the kind where you basically drive your car in, you put it on like a little pallet, and then it like gets ferried around by a little like mobile platform and elevators and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's so that they can stack as many cars as possible
Yeah.
in the smallest amount of space. So
Just
that
roll the footage because
yeah,
it's long.
that entire parking structure is jam-packed with no space between it of cars. So, you know, hundreds of cars are in there. Potentially
Estimated
thousands.
2,000.
Yeah,
estimated
estimated
is 2,000 cars.
Yeah. So we're talking about a lot of EVs all burning. Now, it's very interesting. First of all, like we were saying, if you breathe in this stuff, what is it called again?
Here we go. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Hydrogen fluoride, which burns the eyes, throat, and lungs. It affects the heart as well.
Yeah.
Carbon monoxide, of course, causes headaches, dizziness, confusion, can be fatal in high doses.
Yeah.
Hydrogen cyanide,
Yeah.
which interferes with the body's ability to use oxygen, very dangerous.
Yeah.
Hydrogen chloride strongly irritates skin, eyes,
Look at that.
nose, throat, lungs.
Yeah.
Fine metal and battery particulates get deep into the lungs and worsen breathing and cardiovascular stress. If you were near this, okay, if
Yeah.
you were 0 to 2 kilometers around this area, burning eyes, coughing, chest tightness, short, potentially fatal.
Yeah.
Potentially fatal. Serious, by international standards, serious concern should be evacuated.
Yes.
2 to 5 kilometers downwind, so we're talking pretty far.
Yeah.
You should still be concerned enough to have been evacuated.
Yes.
5 to 15 kilometers downwind, possible concern depending on the age group of people and depending on the how much buildup was there. 5 to 15 kilometers away. Do you know how many evacuation orders were given?
0.
0. Nobody was notified other than the local authorities put out a thing and said, we extinguished a fire.
That's it.
Some local schools self-closed.
Yeah.
The government had nothing to do with it. Nobody was warned that they're breathing in hydrogen cyanide.
No.
At a massive level.
Yeah. I mean, you see the smoke and the fires. Now, there's a lot of deception around this, okay? Because when they put out that, they put out like a statement. Remember, there's like, oh, we extinguished the fire. They said that oh, it wasn't an electric vehicle that caused it.
It was poor construction.
Yeah, they
or
said it was
something?
like insulation.
Oh.
And they had a contractor that was busy removing some insulation, and the insulation caught fire. Now, here's the thing. They released that reason for the fire while the fire was still going. So that means you could not have actually had an investigation.
Unless a guy ran out and goes, it was me! It
Yeah.
was me! You know what I mean?
Well, of course, this is BYD, Burn Your Driveway. They're very well known for suing people into silence.
Yeah.
You know, whenever people criticize their
To
cars.
be fair, all the EV companies
Yeah,
are these
in China.
days.
But they do. They sue journalists.
Yeah.
They sue anybody who complains about or points something out that's bad about their vehicles. They're all about silencing criticism
Yeah.
and making up stories. They're one of the worst companies in the world when it comes to this kind of thing. And of course, they do not want people to think that their cars catch fire
Sure.
and burn down their whole
So
thing.
they also made sure to point out that, oh, these are test vehicles from other companies that we use for R&D. And
Yeah, that type of thing. You mean how they steal the information technology from other companies?
Yeah.
But if you take a look at the sheer amount of smoke,
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly, yeah. If you take a look at the huge amount of smoke, this toxic smoke coming out of these burning EV batteries, because those are.
You can
and
hear them pop.
Yeah, when you listen to the footage, you can hear the lithium batteries actually popping and doing that thing. So it's not just random insulation or something. That is an entire parking garage jam-packed with, like we say, estimated 2,000 vehicles.
Yeah.
At the very least, it's hundreds.
Yes, high
Very
hundreds
least.
at least.
That black cloud of smoke is going, you can see behind, there's residential buildings. There are residential buildings all around. This person's filming from a residential building.
Yes.
Those people were not told to evacuate, as you said.
No.
Everybody's breathing in this toxic stuff, and it shows you that it's more important for them to hide the truth, more important for them to keep their image up than the lives of the people in China. Yeah.
For real, though, if you can hit the thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah. So it's just insane that we've had so many factory fires.
Dude, how many was that?
It's like, what, 6, 7 of them?
And again, it's not.
Stop.
You did it. You did it. You did this. It's not a kitchen fire. It's not a freaking garage fire.
No.
It's the whole thing going up.
You know, what's crazy is that the Chinese propaganda will constantly talk about the Ohio train derailment.
Yeah.
You know, when there was that chemical spill, which nobody died.
Yeah.
And it was so heavily controlled, and everybody knew about it, and they
was
evacuated.
international news.
They made sure nobody was there. Whereas this
look
stuff
at
is
this
going
hell.
on daily.
This is hell.
It is. It's absolutely disgusting. By the way, Canada, this might be a future.
Looking forward. I hope you guys are pumped.
Canada,
you guys pumped about the political decisions your leadership has made about getting Chinese EVs on your roads? You guys chill about that?
电池包燃烧会产生大量的氧。
Look at it.
Yeah. So this guy, and this was also very telling. This guy put out a post. This Chinese, guy on the internet, this netizen, but he is very worried that he's going to get into trouble for doing this, which he should be.
Yeah.
This
he shouldn't be. He should be brave.
no, in China, I'm saying, he should be worried.
shouldn't be.
Yeah, in a good world.
Yes,
in a good world.
But in reality,
He says burning the battery pack generates lots of toxic gases.
比亚迪仓库大火这个事情，我必须要说一
Says I have to talk
下。
about
说的
this,
不好可能会封号，
although it might not be good because I may be banned.
但是我是学化学的，
He's studying
我应
chemistry.
该提醒大家，这种电池包
Out
燃
of
烧的
conscience,
毒
he's
性，
warning
因
people.
为锂电池里面有一种非常重要
Toxicity
的
of
成分
batteries.
六
Sorry
氟
about
，the
how
它
those are
lithium.
made of,
燃
yeah.
烧的时候会
Yeah,
分
when
解出对
burning.
人体
Breaks down into hydrogen fluoride, which is very
毒
toxic
性
to
很大的
humans.
氟化氢。烧掉的车子越多啊，情况就越严
More
重。
cars you
吸
burn, the
入
worse
达
it
到一定的
gets.
量以后啊，会造成血钙的失衡
Yeah.
进而造成心脏骤停啊。就是
So
会
your
死
blood
亡
calcium
所以
can
我在
actually
这
be
里啊，希望
imbalanced,
下
leading
风
to
方
heart
向
attack.
5公里
Yeah.
内的居民啊，关注
This
一
is
下
kilometers
自己的身
downwind.
体
You better pay
特别
attention
是老
to
人
your
小
health.
孩啊，有必要的话，请在医生的指导下平衡一下血钙。大家可能还记得，前段时间杭州有个女的，因为在氟化氢里面踩了一脚，后来就死了，原因就是皮肤吸收，最后导致心脏
Yeah,
骤
the
停
skin
了。
absorbs it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that you had to have an Edison put out a warning like that rather than the government who didn't put out a warning.
You better believe that guy is going to get banned.
Yeah, but it shows you how irresponsible the Chinese government is.
Yeah.
And also how,
Well, life is cheap.
dude, I just hate that these big companies, they cannot allow anyone to criticize them. They get the government because it's
are
all,
the
it's all part of the government. They are. It's like
Let's not
Huawei
even
and all that. Yeah.
pretend.
They get to suppress the news. They get to stop anyone seeing anything
Yep.
negative. And that leads to people like Canada is now a person apparently.
Yes, people like nope.
You don't hear that they burn all the time and that people lose their lives and that factories burn down and
Yeah.
whatnot. You don't hear that because they block it off. They strong arm the media. They strong arm the netizens, witnesses. As soon as a car bursts into flames, they send people to cover the car and take
Yeah.
the badges off so
Yeah.
people can't tell.
Yeah.
So you don't see the negative side of it.
No.
All you see is this glamorous bullshit. We got some shills who go to China to drive a car and say, China's living in the future. Look, it's got touch
They
screens.
get paid 30 grand to
Yeah,
do one video.
to do one video. It's ridiculous.
by the way.
They do. I actually have the receipts of a guy being paid $58,000. $58,000 to do one of those fluff pieces for one of these Chinese EV companies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've got the email.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things. They get paid to do this. And so, you know, people end up buying their death. You know, they say buy your death, burn your driveway.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff.
Can we look at this map?
Let's take a look at
This
this
is
map.
April 2026.
Yeah.
Not 2026, April.
April.
Just wanted to throw this together. You had Yumen Gansu, which,
Yep.
by the way, that's the location's wrong. It should be closer to the right.
Yeah, it should be close to the right. Yeah.
Jinan, that Shandong one. You had the Niuquan one as well, so there's two.
Yes.
There should be
Two.
two there.
Both of them there, yeah.
Dongying, Shandong. You had the Anhui one. You had the Zhejiang one. You had the Ningbo Zhejiang one. You had Shenzhen. That was in April.
Yeah.
That's what we just showed you.
Yeah.
Most of those are not on media.
Bro, April's not even over.
No, we're halfway through April.
It's like April 17th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What the hell?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just incredible that you've got so many factory fires, and these are not small things. These are, by the way, these are factory fires where people died.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not giving the exact death count because it's impossible.
Yeah.
But you know, wasn't there that one that happened just over the border as well?
Yeah. So I was in. Oh, by the way, it's not done.
No, we're not
I have
done.
some supplementals here.
Oh, you got supplementals?
I do.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take
One
a
of them
look.
is devastating,
Yeah. Okay.
but that's just in mainland China, right?
Yeah. Just in these past 17 days. And those are the ones, by the way, that we can find reports on.
Yes. So on the Chinese border with Myanmar, so in Burma, there's something called a Wa state.
Yes.
And this is a very weird, like, criminal area
Yeah,
that's controlled by China. They issue Chinese passports, they use Chinese currency, and they speak Chinese. So it's effectively China.
Yeah, yeah.
And this
It's
is where
kind of like
China does a lot of its
it's
crap.
kind of like the Guam of China or something.
Yeah, except
way.
the U.S. doesn't do like bad things.
No, I'm
in
just saying
Guam.
it kind of belongs, but it doesn't. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. No,
No,
it's
I'm
not
going
like
there.
that at all.
No.
Guam is a part of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
US.
that's right,
This
yeah.
is officially part of Myanmar.
Yeah.
But China operates it for its
But unofficially, it's like a Guam.
Yeah, yeah, sure. It's a criminal enterprise
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
But anyway, there's a Chinese managed factory. It's weapons and explosive factory. Hundreds killed.
Yeah, they're saying 200 plus is the estimate.
Yeah.
Security guards there. It's all
Well,
Chinese
it's Chinese
people.
managed, right? They do this stuff abroad.
Yeah,
for a
exactly.
reason, right?
Yep.
But man, that's
So there's another one.
devastating.
There's another explosion in a factory, right?
That was April 7th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Effectively China.
So add that to the list.
I didn't put it on there just because I wanted to be hyper accurate and just
Yeah.
show what was in China.
Yes.
But this is that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it really
Kind
is.
of a big deal.
I'd say.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, the scale of that one is crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely nuts. Anyway, moving to the next one, we have a couple other things here. We have some more supplementals.
Yeah.
Like this in Hainan, which I didn't include on the map because it wasn't a factory explosion.
No, again, listen. One thing that I like to try to warn people about is the dangers of electric vehicles from the point of view of, the fire risks.
Yes.
And specifically when you buy Chinese electric vehicles, it's not that they can't design a good vehicle, because they can. It's not that they can't produce a high quality vehicle, because they can.
Yes.
It's the fact that in Chinese society, taking shortcuts is seen as very acceptable. And when it comes to like oversight and quality control and all of that kind of thing, it's very fallible. It's very easy for somebody to take a bribe. If someone comes into the factory and says, even if it's not the main factory, someone comes in and says, listen, use my counterfeit parts, I'll give you a kickback. They'll be yes. Yeah. Or they can save money by using inferior bolts or something along those lines.
Fake medicine.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
across the board.
It's just so common. It's acceptable in Chinese society. You kind of expect that people are going to take shortcuts. Yeah. And so even if you're buying something that's supposedly a good quality vehicle, you don't know somewhere down the supply chain whether some faulty parts have been inserted.
We saw some great footage of the frames of a Tesla were very thick.
Yeah.
And then they showed one of these fancy Chinese EVs and it was paper thin.
Paper thin.
We saw that and we immediately, it brought us back. We just remember, because we used to do motorcycle inspections. We're trying to find bases for our motorcycles to modify in China. And we looked at every company and you'd always find some horrific detail that was complete, like the emissions just blocked off.
Fake. It was like a fake plastic box, but it's supposed to be a charcoal canister.
Or the brakes literally don't work. They're just on it.
Yeah.
It's not a functional
Or the welds
brake.
are just very bad.
The welds break. This Chinesium in the shocks, right?
Exactly.
You're never surprised when you see this new stuff coming out.
So you've got these shared bikes over here, and of course they self-immolate because again, the quality's not amazing, they're abused. And lithium-ion batteries are incredibly energy dense. Yeah. So all it takes is one fault and they can get thermal runaway. And when they're parked next to a huge crowd like this, they're all going to go up. And they did all go up because, look, nobody stops to try and, move the bikes away or anything like that. Nobody will stop.
For sure. Look at that.
So, it's like the BYD factory as well. It's the thermal runaway. It's the batteries getting out of control.
It's also the shared bike situation. There's mountains of millions of these shared bikes when the bubble burst. And now the same is happening, but it's worse because those are pedal bikes.
Yes.
Now we're dealing with
electric
bikes on maps.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to talk about it.
Nope.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's so much waste.
It's
so
wasteful.
Much freaking waste.
I got a question for you. Does this look good for the environment?
No.
Yeah. So here we've got one of those fake knockoff Porsches again from the phone brand, Millet. Those fake knockoff Porsches. And again, these things are going up all the time. That explosion, by the way, is the airbag.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. But what's really interesting is every time one of these things go up, you have people defending it in the comments. Like, oh, that's not the car's fault. Somebody left a power bank in there or something like that. They always make stuff up.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, they just cannot accept the fact that these things are really hazardous.
Yeah, statistically, actually, it's like, bro, then why are there so many freaking videos about this?
And I just wanted to give everybody just a quick reminder about the sheer power of these lithium-ion batteries. Yeah. This is an electric scooter. So the lithium-ion battery pack in there is probably about this big. It's about the size. In fact, it's smaller than a car 12-volt battery, okay, is what you're going to expect in this thing. Okay, so your battery in your car that you change when it goes, it's not starting anymore. This is the kind of output that you get.
It's like a circus show.
Yeah. I mean,
I got some of these from Rick.
We'll do this, but I just want to say, the amount of energy that's stored in these lithium-ion batteries, unless you've got very good safety, very good quality, you're dealing with a massive hazard. Because if it goes off like you saw that, it's like a flamethrower. And if you're talking about an electric car, you can multiply that battery size by 20, 30, who knows. But you've got a massive amount of energy that melts concrete, melts rebar, does everything. It's just so powerful. Yeah, and it's impossible to stop. So you got to be very careful about if you're buying an EV, you got to make sure it's from a reputable, brand.
Yes.
Something you can trust. Something that you should still always park outside anyway.
Yes. Everyone knows Rick, right? You got
Oh
the
yeah,
sound bites?
yeah, for sure.
Wow, so good.
Oh, he likes his own hand. Rick is he's an old shill. He's an
Yes.
old CCP shill host. And
Yeah.
what's interesting and stuff to do bad news,
Yeah.
they always do like Xi Jinping second plenary conference.
That's
It was
exactly
a great success for the people. You
Yep,
know, it's like
yep.
that kind of crap. Or CPPCCC, right?
Yeah, let me go. Where is that nonsense?
CPPCC.
To get them to do like redundant like positive things about the government. But this is the first time I've seen them get a shill to do like bad news.
Yeah, shall we take a look?
Yeah. We got his hand cam up.
Yeah, your hand cam, you need it.
4 people trapped in a coal mine accident in North China's Shanxi province were confirmed dead by local authorities on early Thursday. The accident happened in the Xinjiang County of Shanxi at 9:15 p.m. Wednesday when roof collapsed in the coal mine,
When roof
trapping
collapsed.
4
Nice grammar.
people. Their bodies were recovered as of 2:46 a.m. Thursday.
I have a question for you.
Go back to him.
Okay,
We
I
need
have
to
a-
look
I-
at him while we talk.
Yeah, I have a question. Why is it the Chinese state media can never get audio right?
I had to fix it, and it's still bad.
It's blown out. It's terrible.
This is the top like budget for media.
I know. What are we talking about here? It's like if the White House put something out.
If they're like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And you got like a 90-year-old man that doesn't move his hands. What's he doing with his hands?
don't know.
He used to go like this.
I honestly think he's been listening to our feedback
You think so?
because we're like, it's Rick because
He always goes,
call him
Ricketts.
rickets
Call
and
him
scurvy,
Ricketts,
over here. He's call him Rick. But anyway, I think he's listened to us. He's like, okay, they're watching. Got to make sure I keep those things steady. But why stand like that?
What is
anyway?
this? Can we see that?
Yeah, sure.
Look at this.
Yeah.
People trapped in a coal mine accident
It's
in
such an
North
awkward
China's
thing to
Shanxi
do.
province
Yeah.
were confirmed dead by local authorities on early Thursday.
Do it.
Yes,
The accident
exactly.
happened in the
Where is that?
Xinjiang County of Shanxi at 9:15 p.m. Wednesday when roof collapsed in the coal mine,
roof
trapping 4
collapsed.
people.
Ah,
Their
roof.
bodies were recovered as of 2:46 a.m.
Do it.
There, I got it.
Thursday.
Anyway. Sorry.
Anyway, let's learn about this phrase again.
Okay, so whoops, I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong button.
You're ripping.
能骗就骗 means if you can cheat, then cheat. This is a very well-known saying in China, and it's unfortunate that bred out of the whole sort of communist system, it's a very cutthroat society.
No fault of the people.
No.
I mean, you had tens of millions of people starving to death.
Yeah.
Under Mao, right?
Yeah.
You had to learn how to provide for yourself.
So, obviously your friend circle, your family circle, you're very tight with them. You don't cheat them. But like anyone outside of that circle, it's almost acceptable to just cheat.
Yeah.
If you can get an upper hand, you get an upper hand.
Yeah.
So we wanted to show you a couple of 能骗就骗 examples from this last week.
这么缺德呢？整个纸壳你看着没？
So what you're seeing there is camouflaged caltrops.
Yes.
So these are the roads where you're going to get trucks and cars coming. So the local village dudes, they'll make these little improvised caltrops and hide them in amongst scattered leaves so that they drive over it and puncture their tires. Then they can come and be like, all right, we'll tow you to, or we'll bring a tire, and you pay us.
So I lived in Inner Mongolia up in northern China, and it was very common on these truck roads. And I'd ride through these with my motorcycle
Yeah.
to see pieces of metal
Yeah.
put on purpose in the road.
Yeah.
And then the tire shop's right down there just waiting to fix people's tires. And people just accepted it as part of that's just how they make money.
Yeah. I mean, take a look at it.
It's vicious.
Yeah, it is. So this is one of those if you can cheat, then cheat type scenarios. See how they are very carefully camouflaged underneath these dry leaves and they look very similar. Now, here's another thing where it's in Mongolia, the government covered roads in dirt to force people to use the highway so they would pay tolls.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the government basically, fining people. So, cheating people. Because there are roads that these trucks were using so that they didn't have to use the highway.
Yeah.
Sort of private roads or whatever. And so they covered them in dirt so that they would have to go on the highways.
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense, right? Force money out of them. See, that's an actual road, but they're like, nah, you're not going to use this.
The government covered them in dirt
Yes.
to force people to pay tolls.
Yeah. So they would go on the highway. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice, really, right?
Yeah.
Must be nice to live in a real country.
What's going on here?
Okay, so this is even more ridiculous. This is another one of those middle-aged to elderly generation. We call them the lost generation in China. And I'll be honest with you, most people in China of our age can't stand this generation.
Yes.
You know, even they can't stand themselves, you know. So what's going on here is she is getting a haircut and she decided, I don't want to pay for this haircut. So what does she do? She waits until the haircut's finished. Let's get to it. She waits until the haircut's finished. And let's take a look at what she does. So he's like, wait, what did you do? And she's like, oh, you stabbed my meat.
Yeah.
Pretty much what she said.
Just say it normally.
That's what she said.
You stabbed me.
You stabbed my meat, you know?
Yeah.
You know, what would you say? You pierced my flesh. How would you say it?
I don't know.
If
We've
you had to-
the
what?
The stream.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I'm sure it'll correct itself.
It's been like that for like 10 minutes.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I hope so.
Always is. Somewhere down the line. So, anyway, what would you say?
What do you mean? You stabbed me.
You'd say you stabbed me.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say you pierced my flesh.
I would not.
You drew blood.
No. Would you?
No.
But a flesh wound.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, she's like, you stabbed my meat. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
That's what she said.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And the guy's like, but you did this. So now she's like, well, you know, you stabbed me, so I'm not going to pay.
Yes.
And of course, this is her way of getting out of paying. This is her way of cheating the poor barber out of his, however much it is, like 5 RMB, 10 RMB, you know?
Yeah.
Can you imagine, by the way, physically injuring yourself so that you wouldn't have to pay money?
Especially like when it's like $5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she did.
Yeah, I cannot. I cannot
exactly what she did.
imagine that whatsoever.
Yeah. And she did, and she got away with it too. Look, she didn't pay.
Nope.
So that's the Neng Pian Jiao Pian in action right there. If
The
you
guy
can
was
cheat,
so
then cheat.
mad. He's like, I'll give you 10,000. Like,
Yeah.
You want compensation? She's
Yeah.
like,
Because she was like, I'm not going to pay this. You should pay me for injuring me. That
Yeah.
was basically her thing. Now, here's a fascinating thing that people are doing. Is that fixed, by the way?
No.
What do you mean, no?
No.
Fix it. You guys can hear us fine.
No, it's not. I put a poll up. It's
Okay.
not like 3 people in the chat.
What kind of poll was it?
Is it glitching for you or not?
That's like a steel poll.
I know you don't like to believe these things.
I
but-
don't. I refuse. I refuse to believe them because I can see our stream's fine.
Yeah.
The health of the stream is
But
fine.
it's not 3 people in the chat. I'm
Yeah.
saying. It was a poll of 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you did? You got 1,000 people and you stacked them on top of each
Correct.
other?
I made a poll out of them.
All right. Anyway, how's it going now?
It's glitching, but it's fine. Whatever that. It's not terrible.
It's
been
fine.
glitching for a while. Keeps glitching. It's freezing. It's glitching.
It's fine. Just refresh your feed, I guess.
Yeah, we don't want to lose everyone.
No, we need to refresh.
Yeah, if you refresh your feed, maybe tell us if that helps.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Anyway, no, right? There's a concept of basically like this jovial thing. If some shop is doing well, it usually means that it's kind of messy, you know, there's a lot of things going on. So what these sellers do in order to make their shop more appealing is they make it appear as if it's very busy, and
Yes.
by doing this, they litter.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So take a look. The guy's throwing leaves down because that means that people have been buying his produce and tearing the leaves off, and, you know, it's been popular.
People are so pumped.
Yeah, look at this. This sugarcane seller's throwing sugarcane husks all over to show that, oh, they've been selling so much and people have been tearing it apart. This bike repair guy is
This
like,
is a
oh,
really weird phenomenon.
it is. Look, he throws crap around to make it look like he's busy.
Yeah, it's like, wow, I've repaired so many
Yeah, it's like,
tires.
today, look at how many tires I've fixed.
This
Look at
must be the place
tools.
I want to go to.
Exactly.
This guy's got experience. experience.
Now, take a look. This is a place doing like lottery, right? So what do? They throw like used lottery tickets on the floor to make it look like lots of people have come. Lots of people have been buying tickets, you know? Makes it look jovial. Like, you know.
It's not. It'd be one thing if it was just like the fruit sellers or something, but it's everyone.
Look at this, guys. Like used cigarette boxes. People have been buying cigarettes and, you know.
Dude, this is the place.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I mean, that's a bit excessive, wouldn't you say? And this hairdresser's like throwing hair on the floor because it's like, oh, so many people have
counterintuitive. If I walk by a barber, I'm like, look at all this hair. They didn't clean up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like this one though. Look, he's throwing guadza seeds and like
garbage everywhere,
tissues and things. So it makes it look like it's been a very like raucous night out. You know what I mean? People have been enjoying themselves, drinking and having a blast. You know what I mean?
Business is good.
Business is great. You know, he's like filling up half the cups with a bit of leftover beer and stuff. It's to draw more customers because, you know, that's the whole thing in China. If you see a place has a lot of people or a big line, you know that's the place to go.
Yeah.
That's the logic.
Yeah.
So if you can see, oh, it looks like that place has been busy.
Yeah.
People have been like eating there, having a great time. I'll go there.
Yes.
Rather than the nice clean shop next
Correct.
door, you know?
Correct.
But it seems to get a bit out of hand though.
That's... The beer one is insane.
Yeah.
That's just garbage.
He's just throwing garbage.
I don't want to
everywhere.
eat there with all that garbage everywhere.
See, this woman's like, oh, you know, people are buying and like ripping the clothes out of their packets and, you know.
You better believe the wind carries this
Oh, yeah, of
stuff
course.
everywhere. That's why you have garbage all over China.
I mean, this contributes.
Yes.
You know? I don't know what's being dumped in the river here, but, you know. But you get the idea. It's kind of an interesting phenomenon. It's to trick people into thinking that business is booming, basically.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is what you missed on Monday. This is fantastic. Let me get the volume up quickly.
You can't even fathom it.
And that's been the main reason why I've glossed over it is because I personally cannot come to terms with the fact that people could be that evil. You're not allowed to hold up a sign that says, let's China and Japan be friends.
This guy he's successfully mixed into the eyes. If you said something like, actually, America's pretty cool. I think China's got some issues. 5 years ago, that was fine. And then it became very dangerous to say something like that. Hundreds of skulls.
Yeah.
While they're cooking it.
Wow, yeah. This is a very dark topic to get started on. But yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Dark. But they put it out there almost as an advertisement.
They do. All right. So, by the way, guys, that was our show, and it was quite...
It's our patron show.
Interesting. You know, we finally did it. We talked about the things we glossed over, and we're talking about some of the nastier things in China, you know, like the whole dog meat trade, organ harvesting.
Don't give it away. There's a lot.
You know, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
The kinds of things that, during our time in China, what we witnessed and what we saw, but we didn't want to talk about in our videos, and what we glossed over, well, we really, had a pretty big deep dive into that, and that was our previous one.
Yes,
on Xiaobanhao.
But we've also done a lot of other shows.
Also did some fun stuff too. It wasn't all doom and gloom.
If you support us on Patreon, you're going to get access to about 200 shows that we've done so far, and everything going forward. We have Dangerous Temu Hauls. Show this to your Temu loving friend. That one did very well. Yeah, very popular. We had China's embarrassing propaganda fails, where we only did slopaganda.
Yes,
fun one. China's Special Forces rations. We managed to get our hands on China's Special Forces People's Liberation Army rations, and we almost died eating them.
Yes, that was
You're
crazy.
going to want to check that out. We also did a couple more. These are just recent things.
Yeah.
Everything in China is fake. We've done things that are insanely expensive that are cheap as hell in the West. So if you have harebrained schemes about making it big, making a lot of wealth.
Yep.
There's stuff in China that is so outlandishly expensive, but is worthless here.
Correct.
We covered that stuff. It's very funny. We grew handlebar mustaches.
Yeah.
That was a very secret surprise episode. We can't give away what we did in that one.
That's for sure.
And then we had China's entertainment has spiraled out of control. People stopped watching K-dramas and all that kind of stuff. They started watching these cell phone dramas, and they are outlandish.
Yeah.
That was
so
one of our
fun.
most fun ones we've ever done. Remember The Fisherman?
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah.
And then China's scary dual-use items for sale online. So everyone says, oh, China's a rule, you know, there's no crime or whatever. They sell crazy stuff that's actually used for other purposes, but they sell it like an innocent item.
Correct.
It's kind of interesting.
Very, very interesting.
And we did the most interesting thing you'll see this week. We had you guys submitted some of your submissions and taught us about stuff that you know about. That was super fun too.
Yeah, we did the hidden massacre that you don't hear about.
That's a full documentary
yep,
we did.
Yeah. Look, there is so much for you guys to check out if you want to join our Xiaoban Ho, which of course is our VIP show on Mondays. We'd love to see you there. It's super fun. It's our best time of the week, and it's the best way to support us. If you're thinking about supporting us in any way, we'd love to give you something back, and we'd love you to join us on Mondays.
As I always say, if you like this show, a lot of love and effort goes into that show.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/ADV podcast. Don't forget, you can gift a membership to someone if you already have one.
That's correct. And we understand it's a big ask, so only if you have the means, but we would love to see you there.
We would.
And thank you for the generosity of everybody who has joined. It's so good.
This Monday. Kettle reveal. That's all
Kettle
I'm
reveal.
saying.
Yeah, kettle
It's
reveal.
A kettle reveal.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, we'll see how well that comes out.
Amongst other things.
Yeah. Okay, Beyond the Great Firewall, guys, this is where we take you behind the Chinese firewall, where it's all, censored, and we're going to translate some things and show you what's popular there. All right, so let's take a look what we have in store this week in Beyond the Great Firewall.
This is going viral in China's Eileen Gu.
You all know Eileen Gu, right? She's that
Skier.
turncoat.
Yeah, the skier that is American but skied for China.
Yeah.
Which skirting all rules.
All the laws are broken. Like the Olympics rules are broken. China's rules are broken.
Yes.
Everyone's rules are broken, but somehow it's okay.
Yes, because that's how China works.
It's good for their propaganda.
Yes.
All right.
So she famously said no one can do the same thing for 12 hours, and this pissed off China so bad.
Because she's freaking naive. She's so naive as to what China's really like.
Yeah.
She's grown up in the States. She's had like the best education and the best exposure to the nicest life. She doesn't understand how hard it is for the average Chinese people. All she thinks is it's this big, powerful country and she's going to support it and she gets millions of dollars from them. And so it's all good. And she just glazes it without understanding what it's really like.
Yeah.
So
and Chinese people don't like that.
No, and she's using her Western mindset and trying to imprint it onto Chinese people, which is an incorrect thing to do. Specifically since Chinese people shinku a lot. In other words, they go through hell. People work really hard. You've heard of 996?
Yes.
Okay. 9 to 9. So 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. That is normal for every office worker.
Yes.
Factory workers and sanitation workers work 7 days a week, many of them.
Yes.
In other words, 0 time off.
Yes.
So we're talking about 12-hour days.
Yeah.
So she said in this one pretty famous interview that no one can do the same thing for 12 hours. It's not possible. You know?
People started making these edits.
So they were like, oh, really? Construction workers. That's a doctor, by the way. Yeah, so that's a pretty good thing, I think. The Chinese internet's like, screw you, you don't understand. It's very normal for people to be working the same monotonous, horrible, very terrible job for 12 hours a day in China.
Our life sucks.
Yes.
This is the TLDR.
You know, my wife was a Chinese doctor. They have to work 12-hour days.
I know.
Start early in the morning, end at night. It's terrible. It's just the way it is.
That's the upper crust of society.
Yeah. Yeah,
Let's not even talk about the people that have to work in factories and
of course, or coal mines or whatever. It's like that. Definitely 12 hours a day is just bare minimum, really. So it's quite insulting for her to pretend like that isn't a thing. So it's good to see a little bit of pushback anyway.
Yeah.
This Artemis II thing sent China into a tailspin, right?
Yes.
We all know that the Artemis II mission was a very big success. They flew around the moon. You know, the dark side of the moon, took photos that have nobody's ever seen before.
Furthest away from...
Yeah. Furthest human flight away from the Earth.
The Earth ever. Yeah.
So
they are coping and seething.
Yeah.
I'm so upset that this was a success. This is one of many, many videos we saw
Dude, you know that they were predicting that, well, I mean, we'll see a little bit of it here, but they were predicting that it would fail, that they're using crappy old equipment, it's not going to work, you know.
Or there's no reason for them to even do it, or, you know, they're not going to make it back.
No, exactly.
这宇航员啊，到底有没有上飞船？很多博主说这次又是个假的。最讽刺的其实不是我们在盯着看，而是美国人自己开始大规模的怀疑，这是一场好莱坞式的骗局。你敢想吗？你看我那评论区那个质疑声鲜的迎炸。说这个发射前20分钟啊，4个人在那个舱里头，音视频全部没有，肯定是在摄影棚拍的。火箭是真的，人没有上去，都是好莱坞后面补拍的，大概率啊，压根就没有在飞船上。说这话不全是咱们中国的网友，里面还有很多的美国人。这种声音呢，不是空穴来风的，他们是一个耗资40亿美元的发射任务，在信用破产之后的必然回响。
The video goes on to say, like, yeah, maybe it was real, but there's the only reason that reason that they did this is because they're so worried about China. Make sure that people understand that America is better than China. It's like, bro, what is that called?
Oh, that's called
China's entire space program.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the reason for this.
So they were saying that, like, even Americans say it's fake, and there was a lot of discourse about how it's fake. They're not doing it. It's not real. It's done in a Hollywood studio, or, oh, it's going to fail. There's no way they can make it back. They're going to die, all that kind of stuff. That was going on. And when it landed successfully,
yes,
like just when the Bluetooth connects successfully, what happened was
the Bluetooth is connected successfully.
That's the one. So when they landed successfully, everyone was like people were mocking these conspiracy theorists. So there are a lot of like normal Chinese netizens as well. They were like, oh yeah, what about this then? You know, they've just landed. It's like proven.
But the new big thing on the Chinese internet are the people are like, why did they take such bad photographs of our Chinese taikonauts, of our astronauts?
Yeah, exactly.
And America's got these cool like swish photos or whatever. We look like freaking 1960s propaganda.
Yeah, people were saying that they're kind of lamenting that America takes very good photos and video footage of their astronauts and their space program compared to China. They say that their Chinese one looks like an appliance advert.
Yes,
you know, and it does, because look, these are the same time frame. This one you're seeing of the Chinese taikonaut over there is not from like the 90s or something. This is from like last year.
They did them dirty. They did diabolical photos.
Because they don't know about lighting and, you know.
Yeah. Well, and then it's a standard, right? If you go get your photo taken in China right now at an official level, it's this kind of photo.
It looks like this.
No, it has to be.
Yeah.
That's like the mandate.
Smooth you out.
That's communism, dude.
Yeah, it is. So there've been quite a few people posting like about how bad the Chinese, astronauts look in comparison.
They did them dirty.
They did, yeah.
It's not their fault.
No, it's not the astronauts' fault that they look terrible. You know.
I mean, in the photos.
Yeah, in the photos. You know, who knows? Who knows about real life? You never know.
Who knows?
Anyway, it's time for Worldview. We would talk about everything in the world, specifically with regards to China. And this is very frustrating. You know, having British heritage myself. But the V&A catalog of this museum, censored themselves on behalf of China.
Yeah. So what's interesting about this? There's this museum in the UK.
And they have
a catalog every year, right? Mm-hmm. But they started to get their catalog printed in China. So their only job is to have a factory that's a printing press, right? But no, because every single company in China is controlled by the CCP, and they saw some images in there. They didn't like how Lenin was portrayed. They didn't like how a map looked.
Basically, they said they were doing something about the history of
black people.
Something
they
about
didn't like black coverage.
Well, the whole point was they used a 1930s map to show trade routes or something. And in the map, there was a border of China or something. It wasn't even, it's from the 1930s. Yes. It didn't even show anything inaccurate or anything. It's just, you can't show a border of China. So there's a back and forth with emails saying like, we suggest you change this, because this is politically sensitive. You can't do this. So they changed it. So they removed the map and put some other thing instead.
This is not a collaboration with like a museum in China.
Yes.
This is a British museum
Yes.
that only hired contractors in China to print something, and they controlled what they print.
Yes, they wanted to print a picture of Lenin, and they were like, no, you can't put him in there. It's too sensitive or whatever. So they didn't. This is
China loves
ridiculous.
Lenin, by the way.
This is ridiculous. It's kind of like if, let's say you want to paint your car
Yeah.
and you want to change it to like green and you take it to the paint shop and they're like, you know what? Because our boss doesn't like the color green,
Yeah.
you're going to have to make it red. And
Yeah.
then they're like, okay, fine.
Fine.
That's what's going on
Their
here.
response was that, oh, we didn't think these were very sensitive, so it's fine. We changed it.
They are rewriting history. And just because they want to get their pamphlets printed cheaply in China.
Unbelievable.
It's ridiculous. Maps, now when you get something printed in China, you can't have an accurate map. It must be China's political map with a 9-dash line, and Taiwan has to be a part of China, and various parts have to be different. It's disgusting.
Slippery slope.
It's disgusting because, now you're letting China, and it's because the CCP wants it.
Yeah.
Every company in China has to answer to the CCP, and that's also why they don't want to do it. So you've got the printing company, they get this map, and it's like slightly sensitive, or maybe they don't think it's accurate. They don't want the CCP to crack down on them, shut down their factory because they've printed something that's like subversive to the state. So they have to tell their CCP head that's a part of the company, and they say like, no, this is not okay. Tell them that you're not going to print it. And they do that, and then now the VNA is like, okay, we will censor now on behalf of China.
It makes me skeptical of anything that's ever been printed in China. Like if somebody gets their book or magazine or something printed in China, then I know that it's gone through a Chinese censorship board.
Exactly. I mean, we're at a point now that if something is printed in China, there's a good chance that it has been changed and censored.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here, guys? Why are we allowing big institutions like museums to be censored? Museum is about history.
Yes.
It's about learning about facts. It's not about distorting and warping facts because of a
Censor
policy.
your own damn country.
Exactly.
Get out of the West.
Yes.
What are you doing?
I know, it's terrible. The UK, unfortunately, has become a real, limp-wristed piece of shit these days when it comes to this kind of thing. I'm so disappointed in the UK. They've really just gone the wrong way, and they're willing to be trampled all over.
They're getting poor now.
Yeah, exactly.
They're getting poor now.
And just so that they don't, step on someone's toes. Whatever happened to the sun never sets on the British Empire? It looks like the sun only sets on the British Empire these days.
Dark.
Exactly.
It's completely
Yeah,
dark.
exactly. What's going on, guys? Fix it. Stop allowing China to censor your museums. It's disgusting.
It is a
Anyway,
slippery
just had to say that. Just had to get it out there.
The slope has become slippery as hell.
There's no slope. It's just a cliff now.
It's just
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. This is disgusting.
Yeah.
Do you know what China's doing? So you know the ship.
Yes.
So the Philippines has this old decrepit ship.
Yes, from World War II.
And they're able to claim that area right next to their territory.
It's
by the way.
their
It's
area.
their area.
It's the Philippines area.
And China is like, no, we need this
You know what
area.
China does is they blockade it. They don't allow supplies. So
Yeah.
when people try to, they come in with a little boat to bring, food for these soldiers, they use water cannons and stuff to stop anyone from getting supplies to the
so
soldiers.
they can starve them out.
Yeah.
Now they're like, we need to shift tactics. We need all of the South China Sea, which we claim the entire thing of, even right next to the borders of Vietnam, Philippines, all these countries.
Yeah.
So they're dumping cyanide around the boat so that all the fish die.
Yeah, because
these guys live
they're
off of fishing.
Because you know what, the supplies can't get through because China keeps water spraying all these boats. So now they're like, okay, fine, we'll just fish and live off the sea. So they're like, oh yeah, and now they're dumping cyanide to kill all the fish so they can't eat.
This is literally Captain Planet loot and plunder villains.
Yeah.
China is a 90s cartoon villain.
They are, yeah. It's terrible.
I don't know how anyone can back up this place anymore.
Yeah.
How can you apologize for this place now?
Yeah.
They dump cyanide to kill fish.
And I mean,
to
here's the
starve
thing. China's denying it. Of course, they will deny it. But there's footage of Chinese fishermen using cyanide fishing, them being captured
Yes.
by the Philippine guys actually doing it, being caught red-handed. So why wouldn't they do it? Anyway, that's pretty awful. There's got to be some comeuppance for this stuff, man. There's got to be something's got to happen. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So there's this lie that goes around that it's okay to use VPNs.
Well, it's
in
on
China.
purpose. It's
Yeah.
propaganda.
So we all know that the Chinese government puts the Great Firewall of China there, and it's there so that it blocks Chinese citizens from seeing the worldly international discourse.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to participate.
They don't want to see what China did.
Yeah.
They don't want them to see what the CCP did.
So many people in China, they don't even know the Tiananmen Square massacre happened.
Yep.
They don't know about these parts of history because it's blocked. There's no news about it within China. So they don't want them to be able to look basic things like that up, right? Because that's how they control the populace. So if you're caught using a VPN, you can get into serious trouble. Talking fines, imprisonment, that kind of thing.
Yeah, they've jailed people.
Yeah, they have many times. Here's especially and they'll jail them for making a tweet or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'll be the reason, but it's because they used a VPN. But you get these people, these shills that try to tell you that no, people in China can use a VPN if
Eileen
they
Gu
want
said
to.
it.
Yeah, she said it. Yeah, she said, oh, you just use a VPN, cry about it.
Yeah.
You know? You can't, okay? If you're caught using a VPN, you're in trouble. Take a look. This is a poster that was put up at the college, and it said, what does the top part say there?
Hey, classmates, stop using the VPNs. That's so far away.
Yeah, exactly. You will.
You get the
Can you bring it up? Let's just take a look. I want to read it properly because it is our monitor's so small and it's way up on the wall there. Sorry about this. But basically, this is again more official confirmation that you should not be using a VPN in China. You shouldn't and can't use a VPN, even though the shills will say that people in China can use a VPN.
Well, it's
nonsense.
by design.
Yeah. Okay, so what does it say?
Cybersecurity enters schools. Clean internet safeguards safety. Violating the rules by climbing over the wall means using a VPN.
Yes.
Legal consequences must be borne. Violate national security. Password will be leaked. Trojan virus. Stealing bank cards. Stay away from illegal VPNs. Ensure your online experience is safe and secure.
See, stop using VPNs. Stay away from illegal VPNs. VPNs are illegal in China.
Yes.
And it's one of those things where they enforce it by their own discretion. You know, but if someone leaves a post or something, then they get them on using a VPN charge, right? It's not legal.
No.
People in China are not allowed to use VPNs. Foreigners usually get away with it. It doesn't really apply to
It's
foreigners.
like literally by design, by propaganda,
Yes.
to make you think that China is not an unfree country.
Yes.
That's a 9 out of 100 on Freedom Chart
Yeah,
Index.
you're not allowed to use a VPN as a Chinese citizen. You know, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of that stuff is banned and blocked by the Chinese government for a reason.
Yeah, so our yearly proof. We seem to do this every year.
Just got to remind people.
I know, we do it every year, though. It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah, you wanted to talk about this.
So it's interesting. Somalia, right? Somalia is a country in Eastern Africa.
I thought it was in Minnesota. Well, so, okay. What?
The daycare centers.
Yeah.
I get what you're doing. Very, very rough country politically. It's almost anarchy, really, right? Yeah. What's interesting is that a piece of it on the top called Somaliland goes, we're not
like
being
the
part of this.
worst theme park ever.
No, it's a good theme park because they broke off and go, we want law and order.
Basically, Somaliland's a bunch of daycares and you take a roller coaster through them. Yeah,
we
just
want
kidding.
currency.
Yeah.
We want an economy.
Yeah.
We want police. We want all this stuff that makes a country normal because, you know, other people will want law and order and justice, right?
Yeah, so Somaliland's the good guys. Somalia's kind of the rough, like Wild West.
It's like Wild West, right? So go ahead. It's interesting because China has now been like, F anyone that supports the good one.
Yes.
We only support Somalia, and they've actually been sending arms. They've been sending military support and military training to Somalia, of all places, right? Very strange.
Yeah.
But I got to the bottom of it because look at Somalia. It's not a free
8 out of
country.
100.
It's a real dire place.
Apparently, you can carry a shark through ruins.
You can. Full of terrorism.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate. That's why a lot of people leave, right? It's a lot of unrest. But Somaliland is markedly better.
Oh, yeah,
right?
47 out of 100.
It's partly free. If you look at some pictures of it, you don't have sharks in the streets. You don't have street sharks. You have
Surfshark.
bustling traffic, right?
Yeah.
You have people trading, you have businesses, right? This is a different place.
Yeah, it's a different place.
It's a different place, and it's a safe country to visit, by the way.
Okay.
This is a normal country in Africa, and China hates this.
Yeah.
And I got to the bottom of it. By the way, look at this. So Israel, this is last year, Israel recognized Somaliland.
Yes.
Because they're like, yo, this is a successful burgeoning country that's actually sorting things out.
Yep.
Unlike Somalia.
Yeah.
Right? So they're like, China expresses grave concern over Israel's recognition of Somaliland. China notes the statement issued immediately by the government of the Federal Republic of Somalia, firmly rejecting the move. So they sided with Somalia and then started pumping arms and back in this very
because they don't like the Taiwan analogy there.
Yeah, so I was like, it's a little bit of projection here, I think.
Yes, it's a little bit of
projection because what I noticed was they don't like the fact that Somaliland broke off of its mother country and it's better.
Yes, just like Taiwan.
It's literally
just like
Taiwan, right? Because if we look at China, this is always tough. It's a tough, bitter pill to swallow, but China's a 9 out of 100 on the Global Freedom Index. 9 out of 100 on the Internet Freedom Index. But you look at Taiwan, it's
93.
It's the polar opposite, right? You have a successful, very rich. Taiwan's very rich. China's very poor.
Most high tech, with the TSMC, all the best chips are made in Taiwan.
Court system, democracy, everything that China doesn't have, it's a better version of China.
Yeah.
So it's like they're very sour about it, right?
Yes.
And you wake up very quickly and you realize, wait, they just don't like the analogy.
Yes.
Okay,
and we talk about China news here, and we have to talk about this absolute BS, okay? China defies Trump. Chinese tanker travels through the Strait of Hormuz after Beijing declares U.S. blockade dangerous and irresponsible. This is a lie.
Google said this to me.
This is a lie, okay? China didn't travel through the blockade.
No, it's called the Rich Starry.
Yes, so the Rich Starry, let's take a look.
The Rich Starry was a oil tanker from China.
Let's actually take a look. It's the blue one.
Yeah.
Rich Starry comes. Okay.
So remember, the U.S. is a blockade.
Yes.
And everyone's going, yo, China made it through. China is so smart they got through the U.S. blockade.
Now let's take a look.
Headlines.
Google. They made it through the Strait of Hormuz.
Sure.
Okay. They reached the actual blockade and turned around and went back.
I don't know how people were with such utter confidence were like, China defies everything. Look at them making America look like a joke.
They didn't.
They didn't get through.
They didn't get through. They got turned around by the blockade.
So what's the news?
Yeah, and we saw that headline
YouTubers
everywhere.
did it.
Yeah, it's all like, oh, look,
USA
China got past the blockade. They didn't get past the blockade.
I don't get it.
They got turned around by the blockade. They're still there.
Major news outlets ran with this. Google told me this.
Kind of sick and tired of this narrative where they just throw something up. China did this, China did that.
Yeah.
There's never any follow-up or any proof.
No. Then they win that propaganda battle.
Yeah, they do. So we're just here to set the record straight. Anyway, guys, it's time for our Q&A section. That's the Yum Cha. This is where we get to loosen the tie and relax. It's Friday after all. So if you have a beverage, now's the time to crack it open and relax. If you're not watching us live or on the weekend, we bid you farewell. Stay awesome. But for everyone else, let's get right into it.